What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Saturday, October the 26th, 2013. First link below is going to take you over to the Blogspot post. That's where you're going to find all these links I'm going to give you. For the new people to the channel, these are weekly reports that I do just so I can empty out my bookmarks. Stuff I didn't have time to make individual videos about, but things people ought to be aware of. Let's get at it. Teen followed teacher into bathroom, killed her with a box cutter, dumped her behind the school. Don't have any idea what's going on with this, but I would like to know what kind of pharmaceuticals this kid was on. 11-year-old accused of bringing gun and 400 rounds of ammo to school. This is in Washington State. How do you carry 400 rounds of ammunition to school when you're 11 years old? And where did you get it from? From the San Francisco gate, Utah police arrest man who drove up Capitol steps. What are you smoking in that crack pipe? Put a link to this from CBS New York. Miriam Carney 911 tape show mom killed in D.C. Chase thought she was being stalked. We all know about this already, but CBS did a follow-up on it, October 24. Put a link to that. Pilot David Black killed fighting NSW brush fires. Where was this? Pilot went down fighting brush fires, plane crash. Put a link to this. Let's see. We had CN fuel rail cars derail, explode in West Edmonton. This was on the 19th of October. So more planes going down, more fuel, more trains derailing. Who knows what it is. U.S. to be, speaking of oil, U.S. to be world's top oil producer in 5 years, report says. Drill baby drill, or frack baby frack, or whatever. They're going to do it anyway, right? It's all about the profit. Put a link to this. Let's see. White House fires Twitter critic. How dare you criticize your government? You're fired. This is from USA Today. Put a link to this. U.S. Army threatens Christian soldiers with the brig. More demonization of Christians. I mean, I'm not religious myself, but this has been going on for a while now. Freedom of religion, anyone? Put a link to it. Speaking of the military, Obama wants Marines to wear girly hats. Why does Obama want our Marines to wear girly hats? Put a link to it. Freaking madness never stops. Update, FDA seeks pet owner. Be advised, if you have dogs or cats, FDA seeks pet owner help on dangerous jerky treats. There's been a outbreak, pets dying from these jerky treats. I believe they were made in China. Put a link to this, be advised. One more in the general bin. I don't know how true this is. This was sent to me today. Gunboats seen patrolling in Louisiana Isles. If you're in Louisiana, be on the lookout for gunboats, I guess. I don't know. Put a link to it. Over to financial news. Thousands of consumers get insurance cancellation notices due to healthcare changes. Obamacare is no doubt causing a mess. Second link to follow that, Obama wipes out more than 1 million plans. This 2 days ago from WND. Put a link to it. Obama raising money off healthcare.gov problems. Never let a good crisis go to waste, right? Who said that? Rahm Emanuel. Let's see here from Rush Limbaugh. We got this. Opt-out Obamacare penalty can't be enforced unless you get a tax refund. That's interesting. Because I would ask everybody, at what point, if we're in agreement that we live under a tyrannical government, at what point do you stop supporting said tyrannical government? Meaning stop paying taxes. Just a question. Your opinions are welcome. Anyway, I'll put a link to this. Federal workers, speaking of taxes, federal workers owe more than $3.5 billion in back taxes. This is from Fox Politics. Tax refunds delayed due to government shutdown. You don't mind if we pay you a little late, do you? Food stamps. This is important here now. This is right before Thanksgiving they're doing this. Cut off to food stamps coming up next Friday. Put a link to this. Be advised if you're on public assistance. We all know a lot of people abuse that stuff, but there's also a lot of people who need it. Just before the holidays, too. Speaking of that, report says U.S. spent $3.7 trillion on welfare over the past 5 years. This is from the Weekly Standard. At some point, the whole thing, I've been talking about it forever. It's inevitable. The whole thing collapses. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Anyway, I'll put a link to it. Special report, if you're looking for a job, help wanted in Fukushima, low pay, high risk. Put a link to this from Reuters. Yeah, if you're suicidal, I guess. Last one in the financial bin. Titanic violin fetches record price at auction. Maybe you could play us a tune while we watch the sinking of not only the United States, but the entire planet. I'll put a link to it. Over to New World Order and police state news now. Obama readies military for domestic gun confiscation. FBI, Secret Service, military sources confirm. This is on Red Flag. There's a video here by Alex Jones, and I'm not really one to push Alex Jones too much. However, you want to review this video because he's got some updated information, some pretty crucial stuff. Take it however you want it. Homeland Security hiring $80 million in armed guards to protect IRS and government buildings. Yeah, I bet. This October 3rd. This is somebody's Blogspot, but there's a video there from MSM. Put a link to that. COD to build second Homeland Security training facility on campus. I believe this is up in the Chicago area. Homeland Security training facility, huh? What are they training for? Tampa to become epicenter of international special operations coordination. This posted October 18th on Small Wars Journal. Put a link to this. More of these centers being built all over the place. St. Cloud, I believe that's Minnesota, right? St. Cloud Police unveils surplus military vehicle for SWAT team. Check that out. Police state at its finest right there. Man, something out of a crazy movie. Speaking of something out of a crazy movie, Taiwanese government introduces terrifying special forces clone army. Take a look at the pictures of those things. It makes me think of Star Wars, only worse. Craziness. Let my computer catch up here. Student banned from student banned from writing about God as her hero. I guess they were given an assignment to write about heroes, and she apparently got in trouble for saying God is my hero. The continuous, it's a big idea, a new world order. Let's see, moving on. Speaking of schools, I don't know where this is, but one of these, mdmom.com, I believe what it is here. Apparently, you cannot send a sack lunch with your child to school anymore. Take a look at this without a doctor's note. What? Yeah, they want your kids to eat those GMOs, no doubt. From Wired Magazine, we got Feds sued for hiding NSA spying from terror defendants. Awesome. Right on. Put a link to this. Let's see. ScareMail. Speaking of the NSA, ScareMail seeks to confuse NSA programs with nonsense. Nice. Put a link to this from the Daily Paul. Hey, people are fighting back. FBI intimidating Sandy Hook residents into silence. Raw video inside the school. This posted on the 22nd. Yeah, no doubt. What are they hiding? In fact, the next link after this. What do Sandy Hook investigators have to hide? This from the New American, October 23rd. What indeed? Why is that school being melted down? Why is everything being destroyed? You know, just like the World Trade Center after 9/11, right? It's all being moved overseas and whatnot. Anyway, I'll put a link to it. What do they have to hide indeed? TSA pre-check program blasts forward with rapid expansion. You don't mind giving us your fingerprints and probably a DNA sample and a stool sample and a specimen and all this nonsense so that we know we can trust you, right? Put a link to this from ABC News. Do it if you want to. From the San Francisco gate, you remember that cop that maced all those people that were sitting on the ground, forming just a line of people on the ground, took out that big can of bear mace and sprayed them? Well, apparently he's been awarded $38,000 for, I don't know, I think his feelings were hurt or something. I don't know. I'll put a link to the article. What else is new, though? Over to World War III news. Red mushroom cloud. Huge explosion rocks Damascus, Syria, causing blackout. I'll link to this from before it's news. Saudi Arabia severs diplomatic ties with U.S. over response to conflict in Syria. More tension. Let's let this catch up here. $7 billion warship to rule the waves. U.S. Navy's largest destroyer, ever built, gets ready to set sail. We don't have money for death benefits, but we're going to put more. There's always money for the military-industrial complex. Put a link to it. Nuclear group says Iran would need to make uranium for a bomb is too short. They can have a bomb in a month, apparently. This is from CNN. So what does this mean? Are we going to bomb Iran? What are you talking about? Put a link to this. I don't know. One more in the World War III bin. U.S. drone strikes could be classified as war crimes. No crap. They should be classified as war crimes. Cowardly acts by the dictator of the United States of America. I'll put a link to this from The Guardian. Yeah, no doubt, war crimes. We're talking about taking away guns from Americans because this XYZ happens. How many people have you killed, Mr. President, with your drone strikes? How many women and children have you killed innocent people around the world with your cowardly acts. Put a link to the article. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. Boom, boom. Sun erupts with two-punch Class X flares. 2 Class X flares off the sun recently. Oh boy, and that might have triggered the earthquake that we had yesterday. Tsunami hits Japan coast after powerful earthquake. Originally came out as a 7.6, then it was downgraded to a 7.3. Now it's a 7.1. Put a link to it. I sent it out on Facebook and Twitter. If you subscribe to me there, you got the info. No tsunami expected after 6.8 mag quake off the coast of Mexico. Put a link to this. Is on October 19th. 6.7 off the coast. I'm sorry, east of the South Sandwich Islands. This is way south. There's not even any buoys down there. So did it generate a tsunami? I don't know, but if it did, it didn't make it far enough up to affect the buoys near the equator. Japan test fires space cannon designed to shoot asteroid. Put a link to it. HuffPost Tech. Pretty cool. Mystery solved. Strange radar blob over Huntsville, Alabama was military test. Military dropping chaff in the atmosphere. That's crazy conspiracy nonsense. This is from Yahoo News. What else is new? Geoengineering of our oceans now legal with purchase of permit. Speaking of our oceans, the last link in this bin, the ocean is broken. There's an article here talking about how the ocean is dying. The ocean is dying. It's a depressing article. I'll put a link to it. Over to strange and bizarre news. Legal paper maps out, conservative plan to abolish pornography. Good luck. This is from the Raw Story. Speaking of strangeness, $60 per hour to snuggle. Wait a minute. $60 an hour. Squeezes will have to wait for Snuggle House. They're trying to open a Snuggle House. Would you pay $60 an hour to snuggle with some stranger? What? I don't know. I'll put a link to it. They got a video. This is a pretty cool story here, actually. Blue glowing star path could be future of street lighting. Nice. Wonder what that's going to do to the environment. That's from the Telegraph. NASA beams laser at the moon, sets new record for data transfer. We really need to stop messing with the moon. Remember when we bombed the moon a couple of years ago? I watched a special on Science Channel about how important the moon is to keeping the Earth from wobbling out of control and everything getting thrown all over the place. Anyway, I'll put a link to this. Stop messing with the moon. Dick Cheney had a terrorist-proof pacemaker. Really? He was afraid his pacemaker may get hacked. You ever see the movie The Core? Put a link to it. We can only be so lucky. Stanford neurologist, we are now able to eavesdrop on the brain. Eavesdrop on the brain. Department of Pre-Crime, anyone? Check a look at this article here. You know, no doubt we are ever approaching that singularity. And, man, this, you know, the technology is not so bad. It's the hands the technology is in. The technology is in the hands of these corporations that are run by madmen. It can go to a really dark place really fast. In fact, we're already on that track. Anyway, for all other news, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited tons of content this week. Thank you to everybody who puts out the videos. All kinds of fresh news over there, stuff I didn't even mention. You're going to want to at least have a look at the titles of the videos. Do have some shout-outs this week. Shout-outs to the women of Saudi Arabia. There's a story here I'll link. Apparently women are not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia, but they're going to have a day in protest where they're all going to drive. This is the crap we need to get rid of on this planet. Oppression of people. Not just in the United States, but around the world. Oppression of people needs to stop. People need to be free of these limitations and controls. Anyway, shout out to the women of Saudi Arabia. Right on. Cool story here from The Guardian. I hope you get things changed there, because that just absolutely sucks. Shout out to TheShowmebby. More so, shout out to a true hero, Ren. Take a look. It's a 25-minute video. It's an interview with a veteran, older gentleman, but I have an enormous amount of love and respect for this gentleman. Check out the video. ShowMeBaby did an interview with him. He's talking about current events and how he sees things. You know, if you have any respect for your elders' opinions, you're going to want to take a look at that video. At least listen to what he has to say, especially those of you who think that we're all crazy out here. Shout out to Freedom for Kaz. He did a great video. GridEx 2 Government Power Grid System Exercise, November 13. through the 14th, 13, 14. I'll put a link to this. The GridEx exercise is coming up. It's going to be, I believe, the entire West Coast, including Canada and Mexico. Kaz has got all the information on that. Put a link to it. Shout out to WeAreChange. Luke did a video, Operation Give Back. You ask, we delivered. If you need a video, if you need to take a break from the doom and gloom, people are always asking me to give them some good news because I'm always bringing the doom. Take a look at the final link under the shout-outs menu. Just, I can't put words to it, but it'll make you feel awesome. Luke from WeAreChange, the man has an awesome heart. That's all I can say. Anyway, guys, if you like this report, please give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down if you think it sucked. It's the worst of YouTube. You never want to see it again. Just please rate. Helps it move around YouTube. I appreciate it. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus for live show alerts, breaking news alerts, new video alerts. I will put those links at the bottom always. Tired of talking. Another week of madness to come next week, I'm sure. We'll see what happens when they start cutting off these food stamp benefits. Not going to be a good time. Not going to be a good holiday for a lot of people. And my heart goes out to everybody. But you guys take care, stay safe. I will see you on the next one.